But I haven't been worried whatsoever. I mean, honestly, like I said, my worst nightmare was being up against you on the block, and it happened immediately as soon as I was available to go on the block. We got it out of the way, and we both did fine, and it can't get worse than that. You know what I mean?
Whatever. We'll see.
You don't agree?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to be up against Nick, to be honest. If Nick was up and I was up, I think he'd have the votes. Jamaica told Nick, because they were debating, you know, if Jen was going to put Nick up or not. Jamaica went up to Nick and she's like, well, she told me first, but then she went up to Nick and she told him, if you get up on the block against Danielle, Danielle has my vote to stay. And Nick said, he went up to her later and he goes, Jamaica, I just want you to know that, like, that's really respectable of you to tell me that and be so open and honest. He's like, I really, really trust you. Because that's big of somebody to do that, you know what I mean?
Even with Jamaica, she was like, as soon as the POV was over, she's like, Dick, you have my vote. And I go, Jamaica, don't say that because you don't know who I'm up against. You cannot commit to that without even knowing. And I've had so many people
Yeah, but
come
everyone
up.
kind of had a general consensus of it. I mean, if it was Nick, she probably would have voted to keep Nick, but I think, seriously, I just think everybody knew it was going to be either Zach or Joan. Everybody knew that it wasn't going to be Zach.
Well, what I did through the entire thing was, even with you, people would go, you know, if the nominations stick, you know, I think it's going to be really close. It might be 5-5 and come down to Jen, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen to every single person. Well, I am not even considering this because at this point we still have the POV, and honestly, we could both still end up in here. So I don't want to go through a million scenarios with every single person in the house. I'm not even going to think about it myself. My focus and my attention is that either me or Danielle wins the POV. And I tell them that I win the POV.
The thing that sucks, though, is, like, if all of this pans out in a continuous effort as it has been, I'm the one to go home next week.
Why would you say that?
Because the 3 people who are downstairs, 1, 2, and the next week 3. I'm just saying, because that is an awfully familiar order. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it makes me nervous.
But I think that you are totally safe if anyone of the other side of the house gets it.
But
you
the
never
downstairs
still has the votes too. You got to remember, it depends on who you're up against. And I do have pretty big influence in the house, if you want to acknowledge it or not. I would hope to not have to use it. I never thought I'd ever be so confident being on the block in the second week. But like I said, I see it being like, now with Cal voting for me, the only one I'm even really thinking
Mike will not go against the consensus.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He
doesn't want to
never
stick
would.
out. So I think it's going to be 10-0.
What time is it? Did you look?
I did, but I forgot. I think it's 4:30 or something.